Hello, welcome back to the den. Thank you very much for joining us once again on a slightly overcast but cooler day in Hinckley. So we're going straight into it this week. MGF. So the more astute viewers will notice that this rear quarter has now been painted over at Retro Power, so that is all done and finished. So as ever for the last year and a half, we are really close to finishing the MGF. We've got an audio install to go into this, which we're onto now. There's a bit of wiring to tidy up, and then what was the other thing? I'm just chatting to Luke about it, can't remember. Window switches, need a new window switch, and then Chris will be detailing this, and I'm hoping to have it back to the customer in a couple of weeks when he gets back from his holiday, which will be very nice indeed. So we'll be carrying on with some mileage on that in the meantime. Not a huge amount else. I've finished the inspection on the XFR. What a just absolute weapon, and a real definite alternative, a viable alternative to your normal M5, your RS6, and so on and so forth. Yeah, a 500 horsepower supercharged V8, and this sits in a really nice sweet spot because it's the Gen 1 XF, but the facelift version, so you get the much sleeker headlights, whereas the early ones had the kind of weird bulbous bit on the top. The interior was updated and improved, but then the Gen 2 they went down to a V6. So yeah, supercharged V8, 500 horsepower, rear wheel drive, ZF8 gearbox. Yeah, absolutely goes like a bloody rocket. And this one is quite careworn, which the customer knows about. That's why he's brought it to us. So we've got a list of things. He's popping in next week, so we can run through some jobs on that just to get it back to rude health, because it's well worth investing in for sure. Very cool thing. I like that. Big fan of that. Right, let's go. Oh no, actually Lupo, sorry. So we've got a new radiator in the Lupo, and what's been surprising that we come across not that often actually these days is parts availability. And Volkswagen, for some reason, after about 15 to 20 years, they just stopped producing any parts for their cars. So trying to get the correct ball joints for a GTI Lupo has proved very tricky. However, I think on about the 8th attempt of buying some that are advertised as being correct for GTI, we have now got the correct ones for it, so they'll be going on. Then we can achieve the correct front camber, and then I just mentioned that we did the radiator on this. Then the customer will be able to have this back and enjoy it for the summer before coming back for another round of work on that. So that's where we are, the Lupo. Right, let's head on inside. Big Lister. Unfortunately, the dampers we got turned out to be quite different, which was a bit disappointing. So we're just investigating alternatives for the rear dampers on this. Steering rack is back, that's back in. Cloud put all that back in with the pump. That was all fully reconditioned. Both of those were reconditioned, so we got all that back in. And then we just tidied up some of the fireproof sleeving and the heat protection stuff that were on the hoses in there. Being V12, it's quite a compact engine compartment, so there's quite a lot of heat build up, so it's just important to try and manage that. So that's where we are with that. And I'm also talking to Image Wheels about having some wheels made, because it has the incorrect wheels on it, which are an 18-inch. We want to go back down to a 17-inch, have the correct original wheels that would have been on the car. So Jamie will get a little close-up of those in a second. The Charade is in bits. Charade has exploded itself with Matt's assistance. So we've got the engine out, the head off, the engine out. This was, the head gasket was quite weepy, and it was weeping a bit of coolant into the bores. We had the head off just to have a look in more detail, having bore scoped it, just to see how it was looking. And thankfully it's not as bad as it could have been, or we were worried it might be. So we're going to send this off for a refresh with the head. I'm hoping it will just be a quick hone, keep the pistons, new bearings, give the head a quick love up with some valve stem seals, lap the valves in again, and I'm confident that that will be all good to go again. We're not doing anything crazy, we're not going big power or anything like that. So It just needs a refresh and a service. So that's all going on, and then while that's out, Matt is just going through the engine bay, giving the engine bay a really good clean up. So yesterday he had the little gentle steam cleaner out for that, which just gets off all the muck and the dirt and the, what's this, H90, so what's that, 30 years of dirt and crud. So we've just been getting all that off, and then we're going to get a base coat aerosol, and we can just go and touch in where we need to some of the paint, just to keep that all really tidy and pretty. So that's where we are with that at the moment. Really excited about that. Super cool car, and customers have been very patient while we finish off some other jobs, so thank you very much to you for that. But yeah, really excited about this, to get it all back together. One of my friends way back when, in the early 2000s, even the late 90s, had one of these. And he was just the absolute don, because he had a turbocharged car with a dump valve on it. So to have one back in here is amazing. I'm really pleased and really looking forward to being able to give this a whole new lease of life. Spinning around, the 106 is all done. This is going back on Friday, which will be the Friday just gone when you're watching. Back over to Ireland. Customer's going to have it picked up. Now, you can't make it over, sadly. Super happy with this, how this has all come out. Luke, I think, talked through this last week. We had it on display at the show, got a really good reception, loads of really positive feedback. So yeah, just had a quick wash yesterday, having been to the show, and yeah, transporter's going to come on Friday, take this away. So we shall miss this, because it's just stunning. And I think probably I'm going to put it out there, the best hot hatch ever. Jamie's got eyes wide open. He's not. Oh, Luke's going off on one now as well. Yeah, okay, right. Next we have the Metro, which is another car that's getting ever closer. I think we mentioned that we had a little anomaly with the air vent valve on the carburettor, which basically stops the fuel evaporating, and which causes hot start problems. So we sorted that out. We've been doing some more mileage in it, and disappointingly the radiator that we had refurbished has sprung a little leak. So it's only just a little weep, but nevertheless we obviously need to sort that out. So Cloud's just whipped the radiator out this morning, and we're going to get that back to the very nice gentleman who does our radiators to get that sorted out for us, which is good. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's just such a good little thing to drive. It's so much fun, and we're definitely going to do our own driving video on this. And as I'm sure you're aware, this belongs to Richard Porter, who bought it from a family, having been on Johnny Smith's Late Break Show as a barn find. So they're going to be doing a video on it. So stay tuned for that in the coming weeks, but we'll be doing our own video on that as well. The M5, we cleaned and protected the underside of the M5 yesterday or the day before. So that's all done. We're waiting on a couple of bushes for the gear shift, the quick shift, and then we can get all that back together. I think James is pretty much done with the upholstery on that now. So once that's done, we can get all the upholstery back in, and Cal has all but finished with the audio install as well. So although it's still in quite a lot of pieces, all the pieces are basically done, and it will just be a case of going back together. Then the Saab over here, this is the beautiful derriere of Luke, who is in the... Say that to all the boys, I do. Who is looking at the Saab. So the Saab lived in storage in France for quite a long time, and is unfortunately now suffering the consequences of being away and not being started and used. So Luke is just going through the fuel metering unit, because at the moment it's basically, as far as we can tell, it's just flooding the engine constantly. So we're going through that to sort that, and we're probably going to be draining the tank. We've put a fuel pump in already. We're going to drain the tank out and just give the tank a clean out, see where we get to, before we go ahead with doing the full inspection, because we can only really do the inspection on a car that's running properly, otherwise it's a bit of a half job. So the customer's happy for us to investigate this and get it running well and driving so we can do the inspection. what else have we got? I think that's more or less it, I think.
Talking about the GR that GR's got.
Oh no, the Yaris, yeah, sorry, I've forgotten all this, which Jamie told me about. So the Yaris GR went yesterday. We managed to get the rear nitron damper sorted out with Nitron's help. So they up-issued the damper from being a little spherical bearing to a sort of metalastic or a bonded rubber bush at the bottom. So that's all sorted. We did a service, gearbox and rear diff transfer. No, it's a transfer box and the rear diff oil we did on that. And then we did four-wheel alignment, including adjusting the rear ride height, just to settle that out a bit. Then the Puma went yesterday, so the customer's going away in the Puma, and he's going to come back in July for a week for us to do a little bit of work on that. Not a huge amount because 12,000 mile car from new that's always been serviced and used. So although it's done hardly any miles in its years, it's all in very good condition, which is fantastic. So looking forward to that coming back. And the big Merc went yesterday, which was quite an emotional moment for all of us, not least the owner. So she is on her way back down through France to Spain as I speak now. Yes, she was over the moon with that, and we were over the moon with it. It was just a lovely thing. And before it went, Luke did a driving video, so we're going to go to the driving video right now.
So you join myself and Jamie cruising in the 500 SEC. You saw me last week talking about it briefly at the party, and now we're just doing a few miles, basically just to make sure everything's all right, shakedown as such. So what we've done full service, shocks, springs, custom exhaust, new redesigned intake, which is kind of copied over from a different variation of SL, and the interior, of course. The biggest change visually is probably the interior as well as the wheels. This car is absolutely fantastic. You know, just driving it in today's climate, which is 29-30 degrees at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is going to be what it's like driving this in Spain and Madrid. Probably the roads are going to be a lot better and clearer, but you know, sunroof's open, windows down.
There's a good pub down there as well, right?
There is a damn good pub. Nice shout, Jay. Nice shout. Not too sure Nick will feel that one, but hey. But wow, it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. It just wafts along. We took the 2002 over to Southend this morning so they can set the carb up and do a tune on that to get it all running sweet. So we used this as basically the taxi car, so I could go and pick Nick up. And I think all in all, it's probably the best part of 40 mile-ish, I think, as a guess. And it just lapped it up. Look, just listen. Beauty. Just cruising down the motorway. Seats are so comfortable, so much spring in them, and you're just wafting along. Don't get me wrong, you come down to some country lanes and you're not going to be doing any bashing in it, that's for damn sure, because it still does float a little bit, but you feel engaged with the road now. You're actually feeling something coming back, where before you did feel like you're driving on a cloud. But it's just beautiful. I could quite happily say to the customer, don't book your flight, I'll drive it over. I could quite happily sit in this for 8 hours and not get a numb bum. That is the worst feeling, isn't it, when you have a really nice car that you want to drive and it gives you a numb bum and you feel like a cripple when you get out the other end. Not in this, baby, not in this. And yeah, I don't know what more to talk about, to be fair. I'm not the kind of guy that does a technical spiel that Nick does, because I think he's more of a nerd than what I am. I'm just more of a case of, it's got a V8 and it makes noises, loud noises, but just makes them smile. Absolutely makes you smile. So I thought, hey up Jay, come on, let's go for a spin, experience it, share the experience with you guys, and do some drive-by videos as well, so you can see what it looks like now it's been lowered and cruising. So I think I will shut up now and I'll just let you listen to the noise of the engine.
There we go. Thank you, Luke, for that excellent driving video. What did you say? Not very...
It wasn't very technical.
Not very technical.
Very simple.
And simple, like Luke, yeah.
Like me, but it was very pleasing.
Very pleasing and enjoyable, yes.
Not like me.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. No, I'm not aesthetically pleasing.
Are you not? Oh, I thought you were. Anyway, so yeah, thank you very much for watching. Always a pleasure, and please do leave your comments. Always read the comments and appreciate those. So have yourselves a very nice week. Be good, and we'll see you next time.